Imagine it's 15,000 years ago. You're a hunter-gatherer somewhere in Eurasia. Your entire daily routine consists of just three things: wake up, try not to die, find food, try not to die again. But tonight, as you're huddling by your fire in the absolute middle of nowhere, you hear a sudden rustle in the pitch black just beyond the light. You freeze. Your hand grips your spear. And then two glowing yellow eyes blink at you from the shadows. Now, any normal apex predator at this point would either sprint away or completely rip your face off. But this one, it just sits there watching you. And for some bizarre reason, something about it makes you hold back from throwing your spear. Congratulations! You just witnessed the birth of the domestic dog. And the true story of how a terrifying, bloodthirsty wolf evolved into a creature that literally sleeps on your pillow and cries when you leave the room for 30 seconds is easily the most chaotic, accidental, and honestly hilarious chapter in natural history. Because it didn't happen the way most people think. Humans didn't exactly plan it. There was no ancient guy who said, "You know what? I'm going to domesticate an apex predator and turn it into a tiny ball of fluff." No, it was way more chaotic than that. If you ask most people how dogs happened, they'll tell you a beautiful, heartwarming story. A brave prehistoric human finds a litter of cute little wolf pups. He takes them home, feeds them, trains them to hunt, and boom, man's best friend. Except that is a total myth. It's biologically impossible. Ask any wildlife sanctuary or zoo, you cannot domesticate an adult wolf. You can raise a wolf pup from birth, give it all the love in the world and let it sleep in your bed, but the second it hits adulthood, its biology kicks in. It is still a dangerous, wild animal that wants to do wild wolf things. The idea that some ancient human just decided to tame wolves through sheer force of will is the kind of thinking that gets people bitten. What we do know for sure is that dogs were the first domesticated animal on Earth by a massive margin. Horses weren't domesticated until about 6,000 years ago. Dogs were already man's best friend when humans were still thousands of years away from inventing farming. This wasn't a planned agricultural decision. It happened deep in the Stone Age, before humans had even figured out how bread worked. Which raises the obvious question: how? Well, here is the ultimate plot twist: humans didn't domesticate dogs. Wolves domesticated themselves. As humans became elite hunters, we started producing something the wilderness had never seen before at scale: consistent, reliable, high-calorie garbage. Discarded bones, leftover fat, and animal scraps we didn't want to eat became the prehistoric equivalent of a Michelin star restaurant opening up in a wolf's neighborhood. But only a specific type of wolf was brave enough to get close. The big, aggressive, alpha wolves wanted nothing to do with humans. The wolves that crept up to the firelight were the outcasts. The ones that were just a little less terrified, a little more curious, and naturally calmer around fire-wielding, spear-throwing creatures. And guess what? The calm wolves got fed. The angry wolves starved. Over many generations, the wolves with the lowest stress levels around humans survived better, had more puppies, and passed on their friendly genes. Natural selection was building a dog, and humans didn't even notice. Now, you might think changing a wild predator's entire body layout would take millions of years. But in the 1950s, a Soviet scientist named Dmitry Belyaev proved it can happen at terrifying speed. He ran a fascinating experiment selectively breeding wild silver foxes based on one trait and one trait only: tameness. If a fox didn't try to bite his hand, it got to breed. Within just a few decades, something mind-blowing happened. The foxes didn't just get friendly. Their ears suddenly became floppy. Their tails started to curl. Their coats got spotted, their faces got rounder, and they started barking and craving human eye contact. Scientists call this domestication syndrome. It turns out the genetic pathways for friendliness are biologically hot-wired to the genes for floppy ears and cute faces. It's a package deal. By picking the calmest wolves, nature accidentally gave us the ultimate cute companion. But the wolves didn't just change on the outside, they literally hacked our biology. In wolf culture, direct eye contact is a death threat. It means a brutal fight is coming. But dogs evolved to hold your gaze. And scientists discovered that when a dog looks into your eyes, both of your brains instantly flood with oxytocin, the exact same bonding hormone that connects a human mother to her newborn baby. You are literally chemically bonding with your dog during eye contact, and they are bonding with you. They even evolved a unique, tiny facial muscle above their eyes that wolves completely lack. Its sole biological purpose is to make their eyes look wide, sad, and unbearably cute. You think you chose your dog? Your dog's ancestors spent 10,000 years developing a psychological weapon to force you to feed them, and it works perfectly. This wasn't just a masterclass in freeloading, it was a survival pact. 10,000 years ago, long before we invented riding or built empires, we were burying dogs alongside us in graves, sometimes with a human hand placed gently resting on the animal's body. We didn't just use them for work, we loved them. And a lot of serious evolutionary biologists argue that without dogs, human civilization wouldn't even exist. Dogs gave us early warning systems against dangerous predators. They doubled our hunting efficiency. They allowed us to expand across the globe into hostile environments. We didn't just create dogs. Dogs helped create us. None of this was intended. A wolf started eating garbage near a fire, got slightly less scared than its siblings, and 15,000 years later, someone is paying $40 for artisanal, grain-free, salmon-based dog food. Evolution is patient, and it is hilarious. So, the next time your dog loses its absolute mind with joy just because you walked back into the house, or stares at you with pure yearning while you try to eat a sandwich, remember what you're actually looking at. That isn't just a pet. That is 15,000 years of accidental, beautiful, mutual evolution staring back at you. That bond was built slowly, over thousands of dark nights around prehistoric campfires. It cost the wolves their fierce independence, but in return they got a family. And honestly, we got one too.